What is mind? Mind is nothing but matter. How can mind be matter? When we name something, it exists. When it exists, it has to be matter. Hence, mind which exists is matter. It is that kind of matter which can be harnessed. All this is scientific. Scriptures and religion are nothing but science. When you look at a flower or an object, you are seeing through a lot of atoms. It is the mind which does the thinking and absorbs what the eye is seeing. All the senses are connected to the mind. Your hearing is connected with the essence of the universe. All the veins and arteries in our body, air, water, etc., are connecting all the atoms. Your finer sensitivities work from a distance. Words, thought, resonance are connected together by speed. This speed is life. Just being alive is the expression of mechanical speed. In a cinema, when you see a person raising his hand, at least 50 hands have been used with speed. A person is really a combination of many persons. The speed of the universe makes us move and walk. Even if it is possible to count the dust particles of the earth, we cannot finish counting the planets and the stars. Everything is moving at great speed. Because of the speed, there is great resonance and great light. They are appearing as separate identities. They are given separate names at will. The material world is moving so fast, but the things within it have a relationship with and an attraction for each other. That is their contact point. The speed is such that everything is doing its work well. People go through birth, illness and death. Seasons follow their cycle, and similarly, changes take place naturally. Where is the life of the universe? What is its speed? Water, earth, living beings have all emerged from the universe, and so they follow the rules of the universe. If water, earth, living beings have life within them, then the universe also has life in it. Living beings cannot originate from something which has no life. Without life, there is no mobility. It is like a mathematical calculation. The sky shines at night because of speed. You are feeling them because of your senses. The mind roams from thought to thought. They appear to be separate, but actually they are one. Because of speed, we think that they are separate. Ice floats on water. Water says what is it, and ice says what is it. Similarly, we are in the same water. Because of speed, we view the same water as ice. Again, it is melting into water. Mind is also like that. It is the seed of a pumpkin. No one knows anything about the seed, but such is the power of the seed that it grows into a plant, spreading its vines in all directions. Then you make a frame, and it climbs the frame. The branches are saying that we are inherent in the seed. Then first the flowers, and then the fruits will appear. When the pumpkin is full grown, you can cut it to find that it contains more than 100 seeds within. Similarly, when the mind blooms, consciousness and conscience will also bloom forth. When you try to comprehend the mind, you don't talk of the senses of hearing, seeing, etc. separately. When we say listen with your mind, we know that you will listen through your ears. Whenever it is necessary, the relevant sense organ will automatically be activated. The universe is an expression. One's own identity is also an expression of the universe. The mind is also the same. The mountains, water, forests of the universe are expressed by the mind. Self-satisfaction, mental contentment, happiness, dialogue, everything is the mind. This universe is also the mind. The body is also the mind. If seed becomes flowers and fruits, then the seed is the mind. If the body is mind, then it has various expressions, explanations, knowledge and enlightenment. This mind is the expression of the universe. This mind is restless and growing in different directions. It keeps you informed of the state through which you are proceeding and the goal towards which you are going. As a creeper advances by attaching itself to a stem, the mind also advances in a similar way. The body is mind. From this body, another body emerges. The sun that is within the mind travels to its destination. If the mind wants to reach some place, say another planet, or say Dhaka, it can reach it provided there is an intensity of desire. Everything is possible if you believe in it. You always have doubts and think that things are difficult or even impossible. If you think positively, everything is possible. The sword rusts when unused, but if it is scrubbed and polished, it shines. Doubts, difficulties, impossibilities have been planted in the mind in such a way that they cannot be removed. If a Bengali boy spends his childhood in China, he will speak in Chinese more fluently than in Bengali, his mother tongue. Our glands are like lenses. They will photograph when properly focused. We are always thinking of problems in our mind, and that is why we cannot advance. We need to tune up with the rhythm of the universe. We need to synchronize with the speed of the universe. That should be our sadhana. If you are a river, you will definitely merge with the sea. The salty water of the sea enters the river. That is how we know that the sea is present in the river. We have to be at the meeting point of the river and the sea to feel the sea. It is our mind which helps in feeling the union of the river and the sea. You and the sea are both bound by the same force. You and the sea are floating in the same wave. Our body is made in such a way that we can catch the endless joy of the universe in it. Iron is melted in an iron pot, but the iron pot doesn't melt. It can turn red because of the intense heat, but it does not melt. This is scientific. When we talk of the great sages, we must remember that they are also in the grip of anger and other passions like you. The sound wave that the radio set catches is everywhere. The same sound wave is also touching the chair I am sitting in, but it is not being transmitted, whereas the radio set can transmit the sound wave. The expression of the entire universe can be enjoyed by the instrument that is our body. One seed is enough to fill up the entire universe. A child is born as a result of the union between man and woman. But we desire a greater union, a union between Shiva and Shakti, which leads to the birth of a child of conscience. We can only see the ocean in the distance, and we have to travel far. Start tuning yourself with the universal tune, and then only will it get merged with the great music. The basic mantra and the basic tune is omnipresent. We are doing the sadhana for the eternal sound. The pranab, or eternal sound, is present everywhere, in the mantra, in aches and pains, in death, in one's wail. One gets such joy when the sperm gets released from one's body. That is nothing compared to the great joy you will get by our sadhana for communion with the great. When we can rise above the narrow confines of discrimination, we can work for the welfare of humanity. Liberated thought will be our only thought. We need to travel through the narrow canals to reach the river. Our identity is within our intelligence. We have to apply our mind to extract it. You can call the awakening of the Kula Kundalini Nirvana, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, or whatever. Our only path is the path of knowing and knowledge. We have to know that eternal sound will give us the eternal knowledge. We have to learn to play the veena, or the instrument of the body, so that we reach the truth. The world of living beings is characterized by philosophy. This world itself is a scripture. Philosophy or scripture has emerged naturally. Our intellect develops by craving for filling the gaps in our senses. Religion is but natural. We have named it religion later. Nobody followed religion knowing that it is religion. All that is present in nature and not in books. It is existent in the book of nature. Our spirituality, which we call religion, has to be reached through logic and practical thinking. There are so many countries in the world, but actually, the whole world is one country. In our country, there are so many states. There is a clash of interests in the different countries and different states. We are trying to create our own country or our own state at the cost of others. This is creating a lot of difficulties. We are paying for our karma. When our thought is limited, we cannot find solutions. If we remember that we are all working for unity and trying to find an ethical solution to these differences, then only the difficulties will be removed. We need to think in the interest of humanity as a whole. The humanism arises when we regard ourselves as one. You cannot divide the world. Principles also cannot be divided. The divisions that we make on paper are artificial. When will that day come when the whole world will be one land, one country? When will that day come when all of us will work for the same goal? Feeling of oneness and patriotism should come from within. We will succeed only when we can think of the welfare of the whole world. Today, there is inequitable distribution of wealth. Some are becoming rich, while others are starving. Some live in great mansions, driving cars, while others are dying of hunger. If we want to be spiritual, we have to do something about the differences and discriminations that exist. We need to be ethical. If we can't give medicines to the sick, food to the hungry, then nothing will be served by lecturing about the Gita and the Upanishad. We have to be practical and see how the body can be protected and allowed to grow. All our ethics is stuck in the web of poverty. When our principles become all-embracing, then poverty can be eradicated. The bonding that we find in a joint family should be there in the whole world. Why isn't the world united like a joint family? Why are the leaders not realizing it? The policy of exploitation is not good. Today, spirituality and ethics are to be found in stories only and not in real life. From this body will emerge the eternal tune. When everybody hears this music, there will be no problem. If we can unite thousands of people with the same tune, then there will be no criticism, no obstacle. All demands will be met. Death is a reality for all, just as poverty is. Nobody will be able to exploit you. Patriotism will arise from this revolution. Then your vision will expand. Today we have become handicapped. We can't distinguish between good and evil. Wars take place because some problem in understanding the real policy. Politics is inseparable from religion. All principles and policy should be directed towards peace. Everybody wants peace. If all of us advance for peace, the whole country will be united and the problem of hunger will cease to exist. We will think from the same platform. When will we be able to declare that we do not have disease or grief? Instinctively, everybody will understand birthrights. All will maintain that tune which make us aware of true knowledge. Why we have come to this world, or what do we need, are questions which we need to search. We know the certainty of death. While advancing towards it, we will be actually advancing towards the great spirit of the soul of the eternal universe. If we can maintain the eternal tune, we will be able to reach our goal. We are confused by sickness and grief. Almost all the scriptures that are coming out are communal in character. In the original Veda, there was one tune of unity. Then there was no need for advice. We have to achieve it again. We have all the power and the energy within us. We have to use it to make our leaders understand that the only ethical policy is that of unity. All the separatist policies need not be encouraged to promote power politics. In order to sow the seeds of true religion, we have to make the soil fertile. At the moment, the soil is dry, like the desert soil. Those who are using religion for business must be exposed. I know how the disciples can be fooled, but it is not right to fool the disciples. It is the duty of the mentor to show the disciples the true path. First, rectify yourself and your society. Think correctly. Then you will feel the river of the eternal tune flowing through your body, combining the current of the river, the roar of the clouds, and the speed of the storm within you. Ramo Narayana Rama